Today is a great day, and not only because it's another great day at Success High School, but because we want to make sure that we honor one of our very own, who's been around for a while, and you'll hear about his story a little later. But I just want to make sure that everybody's good to go here. We're welcoming you to our Recognized Good Legends ceremony, and we are very privileged to have a legend here that you'll hear about later. At this time, I want to introduce, we have several guests in the house, and hopefully you'll get to meet them. Everyone, they're all great people, and we wouldn't have anything but the best here at Success. At this time, I do want to recognize Ms. Thomasine Stewart, our principal at Success, to say a few words of welcome.
Thank you. They know it's dangerous for me to have a mic because I extend my time all the time, but I'm going to be on point today. I want to start by thanking so many people from the McNeil family here. Can we please give them a hand and raise your hand a little bit? I want to thank Rodney Page's family. Can you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. And to all of the faculty, to all of the students of Success High School, this is one of the best occasions. How many times do we get a chance to get together and recognize the legend? A lot of you will hear a lot of great things about Rodney today. And as I was reading the speeches and going over, I kept asking myself, what can I add to the story? I want to let you know that I've worked with Rodney over 11 years. He's such a focused leader, and what he doesn't realize is that I consider him one of my mentors. In the conversations that we had, and all of you that had conversations with Rodney knows, there's a depth to it, a complexity to it. He can take something that is so complex, social-emotional issues, break them down to the parts, see who's accountable, who's responsible, and at the other end, create a plan of success where he never, ever gives up on a student. That is an accomplishment. That requires a lot of internal fortitude on his own, so he can see past ego, he can see past negative behaviors that allows him to really get to the depth of a student as well as a staff member. The other thing is that when Rodney supports you and you're sitting in a meeting with him, you always have words of wisdom that you walk away with. And with me, I think sometimes he might think, oh, she didn't get it all? So I'll get a little postcard for him. And on that postcard, again, he's sharing words of wisdom with me that has carried me now for over 11 years. What you won't see with Rodney is a canned program. That's not what he's about. All you see is the rewards, you see the smiles, you see young students that have been given their voice. He calls it a process of drawing it out. And that's exactly what he does. Everybody should have a mentor like Coach Page. And I hope you, in some walk of your life, you experience that the way that I have. Thank you so much for being here today.
It is our honor also to have guests here from Central Office. And our platform guests, we do have Lisa Gobble and Marianne Reep. Lisa is the president of Partisan Education, and Marianne Reep has been with Partisan Education, and I don't know, you're
9 years.
9 years. But they're great for the district. They support 100% of the district with a lot of financial support, as well as just anything good happening in the district. So we welcome them here today. We also have Ms. Terry Eason, a counselor at CD Folks, but we know her from McNeil High School, of course. And she is going to speak about her nomination for this great program, Recognized Good. And then we also have Marcus Taylor just graduated last year from Success High School and is at ACC. And he's a former member and alumni of the Phoenix Rising Young Men's Group. And then we have Valerie Burleigh, who's the secondary teacher of the year for Round Rock ISD, and she'll say a few words. Without hesitation, we're going to move on to Mr. George Mihalcik, who is going to take us through the program, and then we'll come back later.
Okay, thank you, Alberta. I'm George Mihalcik, and I am the program coordinator for the Recognized Good Legends, and every one of these ceremonies turns out to be unique. So you said this is live feed on TV?
Yes.
So if you shouldn't be here, well, too late. Let me start by talking a little bit about Recognized Good, to tell you how we got started and what our programs are. Back in 2008, we wanted to develop a way on the internet to say thanks to people, friends, family, acquaintances. And so we developed what we called the Recognized Good website. And our purpose was to illuminate the good that we see in our everyday lives. Well, as things progressed, we saw that some of these thank yous coming in were far and above what we would consider to be normal. And so we developed a program back in 2010 called the Legends of Recognized Good. And the Legends program finds these gems in our daily lives. People who in their daily lives do extraordinary things and help us illuminate the good that we see every day. And I'm happy to let you know that we do have one other legend in our assembly today, Mr. Gordon Perez. Now, Recognized Good is not the only program that we have, although we're going to be doing the Legends program here. We have a couple of other programs that I need to mention. One is Ethics in Youth Education, and our staff will work with different schools to help infuse the importance of ethics and ethical behavior in everything you do, and how that can translate into resumes that help you get jobs that you want to see. We also have a third program that we call the Lighthouse Program. The Lighthouse Program honors civic organizations such as the Lions Club for the work that they do. And it's important that we recognize those organizations. And finally, we have our Ethics in Business and Community Awards. Every year, every May, we have a celebration, and we hold this at the Convention Center downtown, where we recognize an individual, a nonprofit, a small business, a large business, and a medium-sized business for displaying the highest ethical standards in their business practices. And so that's what we have in terms of Recognized Good. Our purpose, as I said, is to illuminate the good that we find, and we are proud that we've been going at this since 2010. This is our 68th presentation for Recognized Good. And now, what I need to do is get to the real heart of the matter and hear the good things about Rodney Page. And I will ask one favor of the folks who come up here: make sure you keep your comments sweet, because Rod has the final comments and he has the final rebuttal. Ms. Terry Eason.
So first of all, when I saw this email a few months ago about recognizing good, I really didn't know that much about what it was. But the first person, or one of the first people at least, several did come to my mind, but I think back at my years at McNeil and of all the amazing people I've worked with throughout my life at that school and other places, Rodney Page is at the very top of the list. I don't think there's really anything I can say that, all of you who have worked with him and know him, you know how wonderful he is, how awesome he is. So I'm probably not going to say anything that you don't already know. But for me personally, I'll try not to cry, but he used to come in my office and make me cry, by the way. He didn't mean to, but he just has that way of just sitting with you for 2 or 3 minutes even, and knowing what's on your heart, knowing what's on your mind. He is one of the most incredible listeners that I've ever come across in my life, and I'm a counselor, so it's not really as easy as it may seem. He listens, he gets you, and the feedback he gives you about yourself, your life, what he sees in you is just so incredibly inspiring. And I know he does that. He's done that over and over for countless students, kids, adults throughout his life. And I'm so very happy that I've gotten to know him and that he's been a part of my life. I'll end real quickly. There's a little statement that's on this sheet about the legend nominee, and that kind of sums it up. Rodney's authentic, supportive, direct communication heals and affirms all whom he comes into contact with. If you've had the pleasure and good fortune to work with or around him, you know you've been blessed. And I've truly been blessed by him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I need to point out that this is not a one-day, one-time affair. We will have what we call our Say Thanks Austin campaign beginning in January, where you and your friends and your friends' friends can say thanks to Rodney or any of the other legends that we have. And we will have a concluding ceremony in February at the City Hall in Austin. And the legend who gets the most thank yous from around the world, literally, will get an additional $10,000 as a pay-it-forward donation. So it's important that we start our social networking and our professional networking and make sure we get ready to submit those votes in January. Now, the next person we have has a few words about Rod, and that is Miss Valerie Burleigh.
Good morning. As they said earlier, my name is Valerie Burleigh. I'm not just the district secondary teacher of the year, but I also work here at Success High School. I'm an English teacher. Talk a little bit about our school history, and we'll get to the wonderful Mr. Page sitting here. Our mascot at Success High School is the Phoenix, and it represents the changes that our students go through as they transition from their home campus to our campus and become confident, independent learners. Success High School has also gone through transitions. Some of you are aware of these. The campus was started in the late 1980s, originally in one location off of Pond Springs, but then became 2 separate locations known as the East and West Campus. Then to portables behind Stony Point High School, and now housed in our beautiful new building. Throughout the years of change, the continuing mission was and is to change students' lives and support them as they work on achieving the important step of earning a graduation diploma. Many students come to our campus with personal challenges that seem daunting to them. Some have no place to live, others already have a child, and many students are working to support their families. We also service students that would like to graduate early and start college or begin their careers. Our mission requires a village. In order to help our students focus on their coursework, we often provide emotional and social support besides academic. I'm proud to say that Mr. Rodney Page is an important member of our village. He has been a mentor and life coach for many years and joined Success High School during our last year at the Portables and has been with us since. His dedication and guidance has been instrumental in helping our young men set goals for themselves and achieve those goals. And you'll hear from one of our young men in just a minute. During weekly meetings, our young men discuss real-life challenges from their own families, their school days with each other, legal issues that they're having difficulty with, besides many others that affect them on a daily basis. A majority of the young men show a marked improvement in their coursework by attending these meetings, and their attitudes change as they are mentored. Many of our students flourish in this group and become confident in their abilities and go on to mentor other students. Coach Page has significantly impacted many young men, both through group meetings and individual mentoring. Additionally, he has had a profound ability to motivate everyone he encounters on our campus to ensure that they are doing what is right by the youth that they encounter. Thank you, Coach Page, for your time, energy, and dedication.
Thanks, Valerie. One of the benefits of being the age that Rodney and I are is that we can take a look back at a lot of different things that have happened over the years. And our next presenters are going to do one of the most fabulous songs ever written.
Oh, wait, Marcus.
Oh, I'm sorry. Marcus, do you sing? Okay. We will now have Marcus Taylor come up and give us a few words.
All right. Ooh. Hey, can y'all hear me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I really haven't thought about anything yet, but Coach Page and the men's group has really helped me like get through high school, to be honest. Because like if you guys really know me from the past and all that, you know what I suffered through, and like I really never came to school, so like it didn't give me the time of day. So I really want to make the effort for it, but. Since I went to men's group, I think it was about in the middle of November or October I had went, and ever since then, like I just started just doing right. And Coach Page, they'll give me the guidelines and the discipline, sometimes give me a few words, you know. Coach Page can be a little crazy with that, but that's what makes him Coach Page, and he keeps the rules with you, and that's really all I got to say.
Tell me who you are.
Huh?
Tell me where you are.
And with the whole scholarship thing, I'm going to ACC right now. I really didn't think about it.
All right, thank you, Marcus. Okay, now we get to the part where we have a song that Rod and I can remember from our younger days. Adrian and Jay, come on up.
Hello. Oh, hi. How you doing? Thank you for having me, and thanks, Jai, for accompanying me. So.
People
That was a great job, guys. Thank you very much. And whenever you see success stories like this, and the success stories we've heard about the students here at Success High School, we know that our future is, in fact, in good hands. Now we get to the really good part. Gordon, if you would come up, I'd appreciate it. Gordon, being one of our past legends, will help us with the presentations. And our presenter today is a very unique person. He played with the Harlem Globetrotters from 1996 to 2000. Please welcome Mr. Mel Adams. Okay, we have kind of a slight modification to what we normally do. Ladies, if you would, come up and stand. And what we need to do is have everybody in front. The first gift we have, and Gordon, if you would pull on one of the gifts, it is a suit mug with a $100 gift card. Yeah, you're supposed to be up here too. Okay, that is one of many. The next one we have, and what we'll do is now I'll step right next to Gordon and Rodney right in there. Okay. We've got post position right here. This is a demonstration, right? Okay, Gordon, if you would hand Mel the next gift, it is a book of good deeds. This book has Rod's picture on the front, so you can't take it from his office and put it on your desk. You can't do that. But it has the nomination in there and some photos and some information about Recognized Good. And it has some blank pages for additional photos, Rod, that you would like to put into that. Our next gift is a bromeliad. This plant is a living token of remembrance for today's events. And next we have our presentation check. This is the check for $1,000. And that is for display in a location of Rod's choosing. And then the final gift right behind you, Gordon, is the negotiable check for $1,000 to be deposited into the account of Phoenix Rising. Okay, Mel, I didn't give you a chance to say a few words, but you can take this opportunity if you'd like to.
I didn't even know I was going to say something. How's everybody doing today? Y'all doing good? Yeah. Well, man, I want you to know I got to meet not so much Miss Page, but I got to meet his children. And I met Aaron, actually, the tall son who wakes up and sees the Lord. I got to see him. I heard that he went to McNeil High School. And I went to go see him play, and I was blown away by his ability. This guy was a Division I basketball player. He was so humble, and he was just so giving. And then I got to meet his younger brother, who looks like Van Diesel. I got to meet him. And when I met these two young guys, I was looking forward to meeting their father. And I said to myself, back then I wasn't married, but now I'm married, and I have 2 boys. And I really look at Mr. Page as if I can be half the man he is, and if my boys grow up to be half the guys these guys are, I know that I did a good job. And so it's really cool to be here for you guys to honor him the way that you're doing, because he deserves it. He's given so much, and sometimes he gives so much of himself. It's good sometimes for him to sit down and let somebody give it back to him. So I want to use this opportunity, not just for Mr. Page, but when you see people in your life who've impacted you, tell them how much you appreciate them. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Val. Ladies and gentlemen, our newest recognized good legend, Mr. Rodney Coach Page.
Thank you so much. This was a setup. Terry Easton, who nominated me, she knows me well enough to know that had she asked my permission to do this, probably would have said no. I'm not about hype, spin, or promotion. My PR sucks. Okay? But I'm filled with gratitude, because as I think about my life, I have to look a long way back, 69 years of age. But what I see, so many people in my life. Among men, I am richly blessed. Among men, I am richly blessed. I'm gonna have to use my cheat sheet a little bit, which I don't normally use, but I'm filled with emotion today. To say that I'm deeply touched and humbled would be an understatement. I'm proud to be known as a teacher, a coach, a mentor. That's who I am, far more than what I do. That represents the great work and purpose of my life, my whole life, my career, 45 plus years, actually my whole life. And that's what I appreciate about the Recognized Good Award. It's not just my basketball coaching. No. It's about all of my teaching and coaching and mentoring experience. I've taught and coached at every level. Perhaps that's somewhere in the university through elementary. If you only remember one thing about my words today, please let it be this. For me personally, this award represents and it honors the work of God in spirit in my life over many years. That's the most honest thing I can say to you. For whatever reason, that power has pursued me all of my days. My steps have been ordered, no doubt. Now, I'm not saying this from a place of being the great I am or a super spiritual person. Not at all. I'm none of that. Truth be told, I'm a heathen and a scoundrel. That's the real truth. My wife of 41 years would say, probably, she'd say, I'm an honorary heathen and scoundrel. My 3 children, 2 of the 3 are here. Aubrey, my daughter's not, Aubrey, she couldn't make it. She's got a lot going on in her life. They would probably say the same thing and a few other choice adjectives. But what I can say, in spite of who I am, that heathen and scoundrel, there's been a lot of good that has come through me. I'm simply a vessel, an instrument, a conduit, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God. find myself. I don't stand alone in this moment or award. I see so many familiar faces here, and I'm honored and touched that you would come out for this. My family, which is my greatest legacy, close friends, administrators, I don't have the time to mention all of you, teachers, coaches, community members, and most of all, students. Wow, thousands. You represent to me the thousands that I've worked through over 45 plus years. Students, all of you, all that I've mentioned, you share in this moment. You share in my success. Students, I have a special word for you. I've learned so much from your lives and your stories. You are the reason for my unique skill set and my wealth of experience and expertise. You. Oh, I could wax eloquent about all the education I have and blah, 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 all that stuff. No. That's not what I work from with you. I work from something much deeper. I work from all of your lives and all of your stories. I don't want to take too much more time, but I have to introduce you to 5 people in my life who passed on to me the heart of a mentor. I wish I had time to tell you stories about all of them, but I don't. But we'll capture a couple of them. Clem Jones out of New Orleans. Let me give you their names. Clem Jones out of New Orleans. Where's my man from Harris, from New Orleans here? Is he? Oh, yeah, there he is, yeah. Clem Jones. If you saw my 5th grade report card, you know why he came into my life. Don't have time for all the story, but F in conduct, D and F in religion. See, I told you I was a heathen and scoundrel. Inattentive in class, does not do homework, does not do required work. See, I'm way ahead of some of y'all students. Long time ago. Mr. Otis, Houston. Coach Patterson, my high school coach. Jack Yates, 3rd Ward, Virgil, Houston. Mrs. Beulah Edwards, powerful, strong Christian woman. Not only fed my belly, but fed my spirit. And then Dr. Melvin P. Sykes, Mel Sykes, Austin, Texas. But I got to tell you about one guy, well, two, Coach Patterson. His character. This is hard. His example. His undeniable coaching excellence greatly inspired and influenced me to pursue excellence in teaching and coaching. Every day at practice, he had a word. You'll never truly be successful until you're self-disciplined and you're self-motivated. Never rest on your laurels. What you did yesterday is done. Today is what counts. It's more important that you respect it than you liked. He's the reason that I've been successful, or he's a major reason that I've been successful in teaching and coaching. And one last guy, Mr. Otis. You look at that guy, you never think he did what he did for me and in the community. And he was a complete stranger when I met him, total stranger. January 1964, walking to work, Minuteman Car Wash, the corner, 3rd Ward, Virgil, the corner of Main and Wichita, making 70 cents an hour. Big money on a weekend, 10 hours on a Saturday, 5 on a Sunday, $10.50, big money. I walk past a house and a garage apartment. I hear this voice, "Hey, young man, my name is Otis, what's yours?" That's how we met. Simple introduction initiated a over 20-year relationship. He was not highly educated, 2nd and 3rd grade. But he was enlightened and liberated. I spent a lot of time with him in my high school and college years. When we talk about scholarships, you're not gonna believe this. You don't think I'm lying. Several times, 4 or 5 times, he approached me and he said, "Randy," oh, by the way, he never called me by my right name. When we met, for a week, 2 or 3 weeks, it was London. Then for a month or two, it was London. And then he settled on Randy. So I'm affectionately known by my brother and sister. They're the only ones left, as Randy. So, Randy, I'm gonna help you with your education. $500 cash. $300 cash. $250 cash. Influence or mentor in a life. And he never, notice what I said, he didn't ask me, Randy, do you need some money? Do you need some money? No, he told me. And guess what? He was all over the neighborhood passing out turkeys and hams and slab bacon, that's some good stuff. Watermelons, milk, butter, ice cream. How can I not give back and pay for it? That's all I'm doing. What a mom, what a mentor, an influence, an impact in my life. You see me, you see Clem Jones, Mr. Otis. I'm surprised I got through this without crying. Coach Patterson, Beulah Edwards, and Mel Sykes. They passed on to me the heart of a mentor. All 5 left a significant imprint on my life that is still fresh. You can still smell the ink. This is who I am. This is, now you know the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. Now you know why I walk those halls, shaking those hands at back, Colonel, back hall, front hall. Now you know why I'm up and down the mall here, shaking hands, introducing myself to people. My time's up, probably all the time, but I felt like you needed to hear this, to know a little bit more about this heathen and scoundrel that's standing in front of you. Thank you for your presence. It means the world to me. It honors and acknowledges the work of God and Spirit in my life. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for enriching my life.